Hey everyone, hopefully you're having a good day. My name's Andy. My channel's Finding Value. Today we're going to do our daily technical analysis, updated commodities, work our way through the dollar, yields, precious metals, and commodities ETFs that I follow. I'm going to interject my financial opinions as we go. And if you have need any help with anything, check out finding-value.com. We have a community there. I'm training people, going over certain sectors, diving into individual companies on a weekly basis of what I think are the best opportunities. And I think I'm doing a pretty good job of nailing a lot of these companies here. So if you're interested in that, check out the website. And we have a coupon code LEAP. If you want to see what that discount is, look in the description link below. All right, so let's dive in here, see what's going on today. We've got the dollar here. We are lower today in the dollar, down about 0.5%, but that's not going to get me ultra bearish on the dollar yet. This could be a return move back for a retest slash back test is what we call it. Generally, you form a pattern, you break a, this is the pattern here. You can say it looks like that. We get a break out of that pattern, and then we potentially could do a retest. Sometimes we get false breakouts where you get a false breakout and this goes lower. I don't know what that looks like yet, if that's going to occur, but we've got support underneath us here, and we'll see what occurs when we get there. So the dollar was lower today. That's going to be a good tailwind behind some of our commodity investments in precious metals. We also saw yields go down, and the dollar and yields generally move together. And we can also get more data if we start to combine this data together. So we saw that the dollar is broken up. Could it be a false breakout? What I would say is most likely not, because this here looks bullish for yields to go up. It still is looking good. And the reason I think this is a shoulder, a head, and a shoulder. And we also have a large green candlestick here with small selling pressure. That generally occurs when we want to go higher. It's like think of it as a flag pattern. And then we're at resistance too, and we're not seeing a large amount of selling pressure at resistance. So it makes me think that we still want to try to break through this and go higher on the 2-year yield with time. The 10-year yield, it's got the same characteristics, big buying pressure, small selling pressure. We are above support as well, the horizontal support line going here. So I still think that the 10-year can go higher. And I know I've got this bearish flag pattern on here, but in the short term, it still looks good to go on up. And then TYX, which is the 30-year, it's above support. That's the horizontal support line. We do have looks like to be a pattern doing this as well. And that is generally a bearish flag formation, generally where maybe we could turn and go lower with time. And I have that same TNX pattern here as well with the bearish flag pattern. So short term, we could see upside pressure in yields, but will we eventually fall where this falls with the larger, bigger picture view? Maybe. Gold likes when yields fall. Gold is already running, same with silver, which makes me think that that could be data where we eventually head lower in yields. So we could be at cross streams. We have oil breaking to the upside as well, which really muddies the waters in terms of the indicators that I look at, and looking for a confluence of information and using the data to basically derive an opinion. So right now we're in muddy waters. We've got conflicting time frame data, short term, midterm, long term. Long term, I think we're going higher. Midterm, we could pull back, and short term, we could still be resilient. But again, let's just watch the data as it plays out, and we'll continue to chart it like I am. QIX TNX ratio up a little bit. Again, we're at a very inverted level here. And when this uninverts, that's party time for precious metals. Your buy point for precious metals is when the yield curve basically inverted and then stopped inverting. That was your buy point in September of 2022. You also had a buy point right here when it stopped uninverting or stopped inverting, and it was here in June, July of 2018 would have been a good buy point. Bond prices, we were slightly, basically flat. I'll call it flat. This does look like it wants to come back up, where bond prices going up means lower yields. And again, we'll see what we get. And we have a good bullish candlestick today. The US 2-year, 10-year, slight uninversion, but it could still invert with that candlestick that we've got today. That is a hammer candlestick, which is generally a reversal candlestick. And if you look at a big picture view, we are still very much inverted, and we are waiting for this to uninvert. When and if this uninverts, that is generally where you get your crashes. You get your crashes like in these general locations, like in here, a lot of these areas in that general location. So we might get a crash if this were to come back somewhere, below here. And that's what we're monitoring. We're monitoring that, and we'll continue to watch it. Looking at gold. Gold, my God. Gold's up $36 an ounce. Absolute domination to the upside. I guess if you're a gold investor, let's hope the momentum can continue. Is there a problem in the market? It sure looks like it. We got a monster breakout here, big consolidation, breakout, and then another consolidation on top of it, and we are running. This could run for a while. It could run for a while, and it's looking really good. And we've got a very strong finish today as well. Silver, oh, almost 5%, 4.83, finishing strong, feeling strong, looking strong. Here's your trend line break. It's pretty clear to me that we are breaking. A lot of people will say, sometimes you get a return move, but silver is a basket case, guys. Sometimes it doesn't like to go back and return and it just rips. Um, will that occur? I don't know, guys. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that I know the future. I'm just charting stuff here. But last time we had some pretty big runs when we broke these certain congestion areas. So we could see a big run here and it could happen very quickly. Last bull market here, it broke in 78, peaked in 80. This one here broke in 2010 and peaked in, let's see here, that was August of 2010 and April of 2011. And we could see 6 months to 18 months of a big move in silver here. Price projections, I think we're going over 30. And if you were to price this on a 12-month candlestick basis, this is basically ready to like break the big pattern, the big boy pattern. Now, the big boy pattern breaks. The projection that I get is $276 looking at it from this perspective. Am I going to be right? I don't know, guys. I'm not here to say that I'm going to be right or wrong, but that's the projection I get, and we have broken to the upside. Um, I'm long silver, and I'm long silver stocks. That's all I'll say. Platinum's up about 2% today. Now, platinum's a sleeper, guys. You shouldn't be sleeping on it. This looks really good, and I think we're going to get a break and have a big move out of platinum soon. We have an accumulation cylinder that's also forming, so I likey. I'll just say that. Palladium, this is the out of phase metal that I very much like. It is bottoming, but it may take some time for this to consolidate. That's what I'll say there. XAU to gold ratio. Okay. Are we all right. So we got the downtrend line. That's that need to break this line for happiness, and I'm just gonna like just all over myself. Here we go. All right, guys. Yeah, this looks really good, and if we get any sort of movement further, this is going to be a long-term break for the gold and silver mining companies against gold. This is huge. Um, I know the long-term members. I bought SM Energy at the bottom of the market in September of 2020, and this here is a signal that this could be a bottom of some of the gold and silver mining companies where this is incredibly cheap. All I'm going to say is you need to be looking now, and opportunities are here. That's what I'm going to say. And I just released a midweek update. I went over what I think are my best gold and silver junior companies and some of the producers, what my opinions are around it. And you can see what I purchased today as well, to further, I guess, further fatten my positions is what I'll call it. But yeah, if you want that, sign up. But um, this is it here, guys. We're starting to break through this, and we'll probably see some follow through over the next week or two, furthering our confidence that this is probably going to be a. I'm going to say this is a generational opportunity, guys. I'm not trying to oversell this, but this is something that you need to get right and to hold down here and hold and get this type of valuation. And if it goes up like this, the revaluation could be quick and dirty because silver does it pretty quick. In gold, some of these revaluations only occur in 12 to 24 month time frame. It could be 18 months or something like that, or maybe even 12 months. That's it, and you see very big revaluations. This is a big deal here. CRB to the this is just a CRB index continuing higher. Looks good. I know crude oil is up a little bit, and that looks like it could continue. Looks very strong. We broke out of this high here. That is a big deal. We could see everything run together. If I were to make a guess, if that were to occur, we're probably going to see the dollar go down and rates go down together. That's going to put a big move and a big tailwind behind commodities. The CRB to S&P 500, we were up a little bit. Not total domination today, but we were up a little bit, and it still looks good. I do expect this to go higher. We could see, depending on what Powell does and some of this stuff, we could see the S&P 500 go up too if they lower rates for a presidential election. Just saying. GDX up 2%. We are breaking out of this triangle here, and we saw the XAU to gold ratio, and we are breaking from a very cheap level here, and this is going to be potentially a very big move. So we've got GDX. GDXJ is already broken out. We've seen that, and it's running. It looks very good. And SILJ, which is near and dear to my heart, one of my favorites, also moving quite higher today, almost up 6% today. So I think we could see a very big move ahead of us. Crude oil up 0.5%, and not a huge big day today, but we have broken some of the back out here. We have broken through this trend line here to the upside. So it looks very good. It looks like we've got a way to run. We could get a retest. Don't get afraid if that pulls back a little bit like that. Everything is still intact. What I'll say there, and crude oil and the energy service companies all look very good. TTF nat gas down slightly. We are just underneath this support level. We've kind of popped out, but we did get a little momentum back up throughout the day. Natural gas is going to take some time. We're coming into shoulder season. Shoulder season's before heating and cooling. And I think it's going to bounce around a little bit, and we'll see what drawdowns we get. Nat gas in America, we were down a little bit today. There's my awesome drawing of what I think it might potentially do, which is just a copy of this side here. So, yeah. XOP, yeah, you know me, up 1.25% and starting to move above the breakout neckline point where we could move into a land far, far away from where we are today. So that's looking good. OIH is also laying down the smack, 1.7% up. It looks fantastic, guys, as we continue our way on up. We've got Sprott Physical Uranium Trust. We were slightly sideways, but it still looks good. Why do I say that? Big green candlesticks, and the selling pressure is not there. There's no selling pressure. So not much selling pressure lends me to think that we can go higher. We've got URA, which is going higher, looking very strong today. And maybe we see our next leg higher. URN M also looking strong. I pretty much changed my decision somewhere in this range here just because there was no selling pressure. If your selling pressure lacks, you see how these big selling pressure candlesticks, when it starts to lack and change, that's when you got to change and be bullish, my opinion. URNJ also big day today, and it looks pretty solid. Remember, we've had a pretty big run here. We might get a little bit of some small down candlesticks. Very much possibility. TAN up 1.13%, looking pretty good. Weaker yields, and TAN's over here going up a little bit. Copper, holy 3.5%. I love it. Looks like it's going higher. Like I've said, breakout, and we are ripping up to the upside. COPX up 2.5%. We got a long way to run here, guys. Looks really, really good. Again, this is a stage one base. This is your stage two that is starting. We've got a big up leg probably. Lithium down, but we are up today. It looks good to try to work its way on up, but again, it's probably dependent on yields. Watch yields. REMX up, nice big move today, up 2.7%. We've got that bullish engulfing here, which reversed it, and we are moving on up. And again, these are sensitive to interest rates and dollar strength. S&P 500 down, well, we are down below this trend line. We are up a little bit in terms of the day to day. Is this going to work its way down? I don't know. Let's wait and see. And then the Nasdaq was sideways. We've lost a little bit of momentum here, and we'll see if that momentum can get regenerated. I bet you they're going to need lower yields for this to go higher. We could see a rate cut in the summer or something. Who knows? KRE likes a little bit lower yields. It's hanging on there. Just been chopping sideways. We've got emerging markets that were chopping sideways. Dollar was, I think, slightly lower. So this looks good to go higher if yields and dollar go lower. That's going to be the driver of emerging markets. It's the value of the currencies and the differences of those currencies. XHB looking good, up 0.71%. Yeah, we got a little bit of a selling pressure wave here, but this is a reversal candlestick to try to work our way on up. Moo up 0.6%. We've broken the downtrend here, guys. We've done a full retest. Basically, it's ready to go. Go agriculture and fertilizers. Iron ore down a little bit. We're kind of playing with this. Well, let me back out first. Let me see if I drew this in right. Well, I mean, you can draw it more like this. We're somewhere in this general vicinity here where we've got support. So we'll see if we get support here in iron ore, if we can turn this around here. We do have a reversal candlestick here, this guy there, but then we got our head slammed right there. So we'll see if we can hold here. Nickel been just moving sideways with nickel. Just moving sideways, it's basing out. Aluminum ripping. Now we've already based in aluminum. This is your base here. We're coming out of it. So we could see a big move in aluminum. That'd be a fun one. It's probably moving with copper too. They're both base metals. Baltic Dry Index, it was down, I think yesterday. It was up today, but we can probably see a bottom right where we're at. Probably pretty soon. Newcastle coal down a little bit. We're up against this resistance line, trend line that I've got under there. Still looks good to try to rip higher on a weekly candlestick basis. It looks good. Bullish engulfing, bullish engulfing, bullish engulfing, bullish engulfing. Yeah, this thing's going to try to rip here to the upside. That's what I think. Bitcoin moving sideways. Not a big strong buying pressure day today. Momentum still to the downside. That could still pull back and go lower, surprisingly. And then Ethereum also not a big reversal candlestick. It's pretty weak buying pressure. We could still go down. This could be something like that or something. And then SMCI, we are slightly higher today. It's still holding on. And then NVIDIA, just to see what those guys are doing. We were down slightly. Momentum's up a little bit. We do have these nasty looking bearish candlesticks. Usually what you see, I mean, just so you guys know, you get a big selling pressure candlestick, and then you get these small up candlesticks that generally favors downside movement. And I do not see large buying pressure in any of these candles. So that looks like we could potentially head lower. So that's what I've got for today, guys. Thumb up for the content. Subscribe to the channel if you like. Subscribe to the website if you guys need help figuring out what precious metal stocks or commodity stocks that you guys are interested in. Come to the question and answer session this weekend, 5 p.m. Sunday, and you can ask whatever you want. You can ask, hey, chart this for me, and what, does it look good? I'm going to give you my honest feedback. I'm not going to, give you guys what you want to hear. I'm going to tell you what I think it is, and I can also give you options of what I think looks good and what I have seen historically to have a high probability of success. That's kind of what I favor, and there's times that I'll pile on some risk at some point, and that point I think is a week or two ago for silver and some of these other precious metals companies, but lots of really good opportunities out there, and I think there's things that are occurring right now in front of our face that um, don't come often. They're turning points, and that's where all the money's made, is where the turning points occur. And when you bottom out of something, that is a turning point. It's an inflection point. And to be early in the inflection is where all the money is made. That's what I'll say. The low cost basis, the buying it when no one's looking. I've been buying gold and silver for a little while now, and then the question you should have is, how do I know when to buy this stuff? What are those signals? And that's a lot of the stuff I go over in these midweek updates and definitely during the question and answer sessions on the weekend. But that's what I've got for today, guys. We'll catch you later. This is Finding Value.